So this is my first video, and it's going to be a little bit of a rant video, just warning you. But before I start, I just want to get a couple of things clear. First of all, I am not a Man of Steel hater. I am not a Snyder/Goyer/Nolan hater. And I am not a Ben Affleck hater. I absolutely love and adore Man of Steel. It's my favourite movie of this year. Best Superman movie I have ever seen, ever. And I think it's fantastic. Despite some of Goya's sometimes clunky and stupid pieces of dialogue, his scripts, his stories are good and immersive and exciting. And Zack Snyder has a great eye for action and visuals, and Christopher Nolan is up there with the best of them. He is brilliant. He is amazing. And then there's Ben Affleck. I actually thought of Ben Affleck being cast as Batman a few years ago. I really am pretty much 100% behind him as Batman now. I really like that choice, and I am interested to see where and how they take the character with Batman vs Superman in 2015. I hate that title. That is the beginning of this rant. I hate the title Batman vs Superman. I don't like the idea of verse. I don't like the idea of labeling them as enemies for the film. I think that it should be an evolution of their relationship, and I don't like the title. I don't like the idea of the superhero names being in the titles, at least yet. You know, Man of Steel was evocative of like the Dark Knight in terms of its evocativeness of that particular superhero. But moving on. The whole point of this video is to talk about a few bits of news that have been circling over the past few days. First bit of news is that Nightwing would have a brief appearance in Batman vs Superman, or he would have an appearance of some form. Now, this does not bother me as such. It is, as long as it's a small appearance, and what they're saying about where they would sort of take the character in this, I'm liking. You know, him and Batman kind of had a disagreement and they've gone their separate ways. He's now being Nightwing, probably off in Bloodhaven. And, you know, it sounds like, yeah, okay, I would want to see that, as long as it is a small role, because I think that you do need to build up Batman's universe and how Batman exists in this world with this film. And I would be interested to see a Nightwing on screen that wasn't reminding me of Chris O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell's Robin. Thank you very much, Joel Schumacher. And, you know, a good character. So that doesn't bother me so much. What does bother me is the reports of Wonder Woman being in this film. I do not like that idea one bit. It annoys me to no end. You are introducing Batman in this movie, right? First of all, this is a sequel to Man of Steel, so Superman should be the prime focus. So really, it should be sort of still following Superman's story, but then you have Batman in there as a supporting character. And you're introducing Batman's world, as I said. So we're learning about that for a few times. And that's starting to get a little bit cramped. Not to mention, we've still got to introduce the main villain, Lex Luthor. I'm 99% sure it is, and I still reckon it should be Michael C. Hall playing Lex Luthor. And then I'd imagine, because he is just a human, he would need a supporting villain as well, which I'm hoping to God will be Metallo, because he's the only one that makes sense in my mind as a physical threat and with the ties to the military. So, yeah, you've got continuing Superman's story, you've got introducing Lex, you've got introducing Batman and his entire world, and you've got introducing a secondary villain in the form of Metallo, I hope. You do not throw Wonder Woman into that mix whatsoever. You're going from aliens to a lost tribe of Amazons descended from Greek and Roman gods. To be perfectly honest, the aliens are more believable. I don't think it's time. I think it would be rushed trying to cram that in here. And I don't like the idea of turning a Batman versus Superman movie. How much that title makes me cringe. I don't like the idea of turning that movie into a Trinity movie, however brief the appearance is. What really got me pissed off about that was who is looking up to be cast as Wonder Woman, or who is auditioning for the role of Batman's love interest, that many people seem to think is Wonder Woman for some reason. Actresses, what are their names? Oh yes, Olga Kurylenko from Oblivion and Quantum of Solace. I actually liked Oblivion and I didn't mind Quantum of Solace. I mean, she's a good actress, but I'll come back to that. Elodie Young from G.I. Joe Retaliation, and to cap it all off, Gal Gadot from the last 3 Fast and Furious movies. I think that in the roles I've seen them in, which I've seen them all in something this year, they're good actresses. They're not bad. But for Wonder Woman, first of all, they're too skinny. Yes, women can bulk up if men can, but they don't fit the role in that sense physically. Second of all, also sort of in a physical sense, they are, in terms of ethnicity, they aren't right. I might get firebombed for this. They changed Perry White to being black, ergo Lawrence Fishburne. They changed Electro to being black, ergo Jamie Foxx. Wonder Woman, as part of her nature and history, it has this sort of Greco-Roman look and physicality to it, this kind of almost Polynesian, not really, but that kind of area, and none of these women fit that bill. You've got Kurylenko is Ukrainian, and Elodie Young looks like she's from somewhere in Asia, and I have no idea where Gal Gadot is from. I think possibly Israel, maybe, I'm not sure. But ethnicity-wise, they don't fit the role. As for who they then could be playing, given the wide range of ethnicity of the actresses, my first thought was Talia al Ghul. But the reason I don't think they'll go with that is mainly because she's already been used played by Marion Cotillard in Dark Knight Rises, and I can't think of a logical story reason to include her as the love interest at this point in time. It doesn't make complete sense, unless they're going to tie Talia to Lex Luthor, but that's just something that is probably not going to happen. So yeah, as far as Wonder Woman being in the film, I really don't like that idea. As far as any of these women being in the film, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like that or I don't. I suppose I'll just have to wait and see. Then the next bit is going back to Nightwing. Some guy from that TV show Girls is up for the role of Nightwing. His name is Adam Driver. Okay. He doesn't look like Nightwing should look at all. Facially, nasally, like as in his nose. And on Girls, he's a douchebag. He doesn't look right for the role at all. He should not be playing Nightwing, Period. Yeah, so that's pretty much my rant for today. I hope this stays a Batman and Superman movie. Just keep it as Batman and Superman. We don't need a soft Justice League. We need Batman, Superman. So hopefully I'll be able to keep updated on this possible train wreck because I'm really looking forward to this film. I just don't want them to do something stupid. But yeah, as I stay updated, I'll keep you updated, and yeah, so see you all next time.